Agriculture extension plays a pivotal role in bridging the gap between cutting edge research and the practical needs of farmers and agriculture communities. It is a dynamic field that continuously evolves to meet the ever changing challenges facing our agriculture sector. As we stand on the cusp of a new era in agriculture characterized by rapidly advancing technologies, changing climate patterns, and shifting global markets, it is imperative that we identify and prioritize research areas that will shape the future of agriculture extension. In this program, we will delve deep into the pressing questions and emerging trends that demand our attention. We have with us two distinguished speakers who will be dealing with this today's theme, that is bridging the gap research priorities in international and national agriculture extension. To introduce our first speaker is Dr. Sarvan Raj. It is a great pleasure to introduce a leader in the field of agriculture extension and innovation. Dr. Sarvan Raj currently serves as the Director of Agriculture Extension at the National Institute of Agriculture Extension Management, an esteemed organization under the aegis of Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India. Dr. Sarvan Raj's career has been marked by an unwavering commitment to the capacity development of agriculture professionals. Since taking on this role in 2016, he has spearheaded an impressive array of more than 500 national and international training programs, workshop, conferences, and webinars. His initiatives have engaged a staggering more than 60,000 individuals, both offline and online, imparting critical knowledge in areas such as agriculture innovation systems, novel extension approaches, digital technology utilization in agriculture, value chain based extension, agrotourism, and nurturing of agri startups and agripreneurship. He has an extra role as the Chief Executive Officer of the Manage Center for Innovation and Agripreneurship. Under his leadership, the center has become a beacon of innovation and entrepreneurship in the agricultural sector. It has provided vital support to over 380 startups from all corners of India. The center also operates under the RKVY Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana remunerative approaches for agriculture and allied sector rejuvenation, which is in short called as an RKVY Raftar, a scheme of the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Government of India. With this brief introduction, I'd like to hand over the stage to sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Anupam. And on behalf of Manage, I welcome Professor Vikram Houndia from the University of California, Davis. And sir, welcome, sir. Vikram, sir, welcome. And it's very happy to see you. And early morning, you are joining from all the way from USA. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for the invitation. It's nice, so nice to see you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Anyway, I'll make my presentation very short because anyway, Professor will be talking about extension need assessment, evaluation, other things also. I will make my presentation very short, maybe another 25 to 30 minutes I'll make, then I'll be available for questions, other things. That will be okay, Professor. I will go ahead, a little introduction, then that's okay, no? Yeah, Professor?
Yeah. Please take half hour and then I can go after that.
Anupam, PPT is visible, is it not?
Totally, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Okay. Research priorities in agricultural extension. This is a series of trainings we are conducting to, especially for PG or PhD students, PhD scholars over the years actually. Because in India, especially in India, most of the agricultural extension research takes place in the universities because of MSc or PhD students. But still, many of the papers, end of the day, after thesis, they will get degrees and it will end up in the journals. But it may not be really useful for the policy making, or it is not useful for the much to the stakeholders. That's why we thought different stakeholders, how it is useful research, how extension PG students and PhD scholars or young researchers can take it up. We are take it up like that. We are doing over the last few years, 5-6 years. We are continuously dealing with these topics, and this also series of topic on research priorities, and different experts will be talking. Similarly, we are trying to conduct different programs on research priorities across the country, also in India. As you know, anything, it's a basic, when you talk about research, it is any research, any discipline, it's grow only if you create the wealth through the research. And also it is not only creating new knowledge, but extension, new methodologies or new models it can come up. You can evaluate or you can suggest new models. And also because we deal with the field practices, dealing with the different set of agriculture innovation system stakeholders, that's why we can have the sound field practices which is enhancing the technology transfer or application in the entire agri-food chain, agri-food systems, how it is working like that. And also for policy making, because agricultural extension is the global subject. It is not only in India or across the globe. Agriculture extension in different forms, different way, whether developing countries or developed countries, everywhere extension is extension is there, and it is needed for the ensuring the food security. That's why it is a global subject, and we need to provide the evidence for the different donors and the ministries. That's why it's a very important subject we are dealing with. It is deals with the farmers and other stakeholders. That's why the extension research can provide the evidence for the policymakers, so that they can come out with sound programs and policies, so that it will support the entire food systems, agri-food systems. It can support, and governments, other donors, private sector, they can have their own strategies to improve the agriculture development. And that's why we need to have when you talk about priorities, what are the global, national, regional level research priorities, and also how we can determine this. Based on that, you can determine the strategic direction for the agriculture sector. And like country like India, it's the national and the state level, there are priorities, and also it goes to region wise. There are different regions or states or district level. There are different priorities we can set, and because once you start, which are the things are more important for particular region or particular province or state, what you call, or national level, it will give better input for ongoing and future development of research programs and also developmental programs. And also it is for the basis, whatever evidence we create or priority we are setting based on the research agenda, it will give basis for consideration of the many governments or institutions or donors. That's why this priority areas doing research is more important. It is long-term impact will be there. That's why we need to do. And also it creates what appropriate research we can address when you are going for priority setting, and also it provides the new options or opportunities, and you can improve the quality and quantity of services, tools, extension methodologies, models. At the end of the day, it's overall economic and social well-being. It is more useful. It is many times extension PhD or MSc research, no, for sake of getting the degree, it will go, but little more same efforts putting and a little more seriousness and little more priority setting, it will be much more useful for the many stakeholders, including the governments or developmental organizations. Like many developmental stakeholders are in agricultural extension or agriculture research system, they are there. And like farmers collectives are there, many they are working now. We are giving a lot of importance for farmers collectives. That's why this research output, it may be much more useful for the different set of stakeholders in the agri-food systems. That's why we need to have the priority research areas. It will immediately, it will be useful beyond getting the degrees or publications of papers. Beyond that, it will be really, it is applicable in the field, and many stakeholders will be taking the inputs for the their own implementation. It will give better policy implications. And if you take globally, it is always, we can see the globally, we see whenever there is a sustainable development goals, majority of the goals, agriculture extension, whether it's a poverty or zero hunger or gender, you take anything, creating sustainable communities or like that. If you see many climate action, many of the areas, agricultural extension will be playing greater role. We can link most of the agriculture research with these, many of these 17 sustainable development goals. Some of the students are those who are young research scholars, those who are looking for the job opportunities international organizations or CGR institutions or international institutions. They can look for the research doing something, whatever research they will do in their own university or their own research projects. They can try to link with these type of sustainable development goals. They may do it locally, but still it is as a global relevance for when we talk about sustainable development goals. Suppose somebody do on climate change, how it is affecting what are the issues, how extension can impact for the better research agendas you can bring, or how climate smart technologies are adopted, and what type of methodologies using when they are transferring those type of climate smart technologies. This will have the global implications, not only in India, it may be entire South or so many of the developing countries, it may be useful. That's why whenever we do the research, always we need to align with the global agenda or global directions. That will be much more useful for the large number of communities that we can do. Certainly we can do. You may do research in the local area, but it has the global relevance. Not only it is a global relevance to the different stakeholders, and also when you want to publish in the international journals articles, it has a lot of priority for publication, this type of article, which sets the global agenda, and also it provides some evidence on that, how it is happening like that. That's why always students need to, whenever they do maybe small area, but still they can connect the research areas in the international agenda, like the sustainable development goals. It is globally, it was last few years it is insisted, and those type of areas we can take it up. For example, another many of the international organizations, like whether it is FAO or UN organizations like FAO or World Bank, others, no, there is everywhere extension. You can see many times FAO or research will refer and will follow. It is generally how national agriculture research and extension systems they can strengthen, and also how they can reorient the extension services, and what type of new financing mechanisms are, what type of digital innovations are used for the agricultural extension. These are always given a lot of thrust, and these type of areas, it has the global relevance. Wherever, whichever country we are working, these type of areas, assessing our research based on our assessment, or it will give the policy advocacy to reorient the extension system in the maybe state level or provincial level or national level or regional level, or even it may be applicable to global system wherever similar extension services are working. And again, what are the new financing mechanisms, how we can use information communication technologies, like that we can have this type of research areas, so that it will much more relevant and it will be useful also across the country for reorienting extension or supporting the policymakers. Generally, if you see globally, if you see, there are few concerns, and also there is these areas always has the lot of priority for the many of the research organizations or global developmental institutions, like climate change concerns. This directly impacts global large number of population. Agriculture, one of the biggest area or sector, which has a lot of concerns on climate change related issues. And here, how we can, what type of climate smart extension methodologies we'll use, make the farmer become farmers, or villages or regions adopt the climate smart agriculture, or how to ensure the food security, and what type of things always extension has the greater role to play. And again, there are a lot of, today it is not no more talking about bits and pieces. Today, entire globally, they will talk about agri-food chains, agri-food systems they are talking. Agricultural extension also many years, last maybe more than 1.5 decades, we are talking about agriculture innovation systems, how different partners or stakeholders, they can develop their own relations and partnership, how they can work together, like that we are talking about agriculture innovation systems. Similarly, today, everybody globally, if you see, they will talk about agri-food systems, how as a system we can influence, we can take it forward. Then whenever we do some extension research, some system perspective giving it may much more useful for the stakeholders. Apart from that, today, if we can see, individually, whenever extension we are reaching individuals or individual farmers, it is not creating much more impact. That's why many of the developing countries today, we see how the rural producers we can empower, and also there is a greater demand for the collectives, how we can work. For example, Government of India gives a lot of importance for the making the farmers aggregation, farmers collectives, like farmer producer organizations, how we can make us companies, and how they can make us something business units. That affairs are managed by farmers themselves, like this type of farmers collective and rural producers empowerment is given a lot of importance globally. Those type of research has so much relevance. And last maybe more than 2.5 decades, we are talking about ICTs, information communication technologies. Today, across the globe, people talk about digital agriculture or digital innovations, how it is transforming whole agri-food systems. You can study about digital innovations. Earlier, we talk agricultural extension. It is for the knowledge dissemination or technology transfer, like that, very limited or a very, very simplistic way. But today, these digital innovations are applicable in everywhere, starting from soil preparation to processing or value addition, or reaching the consumers by putting the online platform, like that. Complete value chain it works, including agricultural extension, maybe one of the important area. But this digital innovation today, we need to see something complete value chain approach. All the value chain activities, how we can integrate with digital innovation, whether those type of studies we are doing that is more useful today. Instead of bits and pieces, we'll do smart part, how technology transfer useful. Like that we extension, we had the very narrow studies. Instead of that, complete digital innovation or digital agriculture, how it is shaping of the some places, how it is supporting the farmers or helping the farmers or realizing better profit for the farmers, those type of studies in the holistic, complete value chain based approach may be much more useful. Similarly, today you see in the country like India, always some few years, last maybe another 5 years, 10 years are starting from last few years, country sets on agenda. For example, presently last few years, it is a country's main emphasis developing the 10,000 farmer producer organization. And this farmer producer organization, how we can make more sustainable, how we can use as a individual agribusiness unit, and it is empowered farmers, they will make their own affairs, all the support services, and also they try to reach the consumers in the different ways. They try to make complete value chain something more efficient. That's why Government of India and many players are trying to support and facilitate farmer producer organizations. We need to have, it's across the country, there are thousands and thousands of already FPOs are there, and our studies need to focus on more on FPOs, because in future we see farmers collective may be the future for agriculture development. The Government of India and many of the developmental players, they believe that way. That's why we can give the better inputs, where somewhere FPO successful, somewhere failure, why it happens, it is maybe extension need to play greater role, because there are early indications says that many of the FPOs wherever successful, it may be because of leadership. It is not because of something only support, monetary support from the governments or the banking sector, but it is also much more depend on the leaders, those who are leading the FPOs. Like a lot of group dynamism works many places. There is other village level, other local issues and other things also plays greater role in the successful running of farmer producer organization. And also there are different type of manpower, somebody executing FPO, CEOs or others are there. Whether competent manpower we are having to run these FPOs as a corporates, like small mini corporate, village level corporate, like that we need to have the more research. Similarly, today we talk about natural farming and our ecological or regenerative agriculture, like that. There are different names we are globally people are calling, and we are doing it. What type of extension methodologies, whether when we are doing earlier from technology transfer from universities or institutions, we had the different set of extension system. But when you talk about natural farming or ecological farming, maybe many of the whole knowledge or innovations might be having, it is with the farmers, some of the progressive farmers, those who are working with natural farming or ecological farming over the years. Then whether we need to have the different set of extension mechanism, because today farmers, the whole wealth of research or their experience, it is available to large number of farmers. Then we need to have the entire approach of extension may be something different. It may not work when we work in the green revolution era to taking the technologies to research to farmers, like that that may not work. Like a lot of indigenous knowledge or ideas, technologies available, practices are available with farmers when we talk about natural farming and ecological farming. Then extension personally, we need to suggest what type of extension methods we need to use. Entirely we need to get the new setup, because there is a different stakeholders and knowledge also available. That's why everywhere we talk about how we can co-innovate or co-create. Then when we want to co-innovate, co-create, farmers or progressive farmers, those who are working on natural farming or ecological farming, they will be equal partners, and they are also custodians of research or experience or knowledge they are having over the years. Then how we can partner with already established public or private research and development system, and also farmers other hand, and also how we can work like that. We need to have the different set of studies, wherever successful models, how it is working, what type of networking, partnership, how it is works, like that we need to see. Similarly, always there is a demand for the monitoring and evaluation. Large number of government or private sector schemes and programs, many corporates are implementing agricultural under the corporate social responsibility, large number of agriculture development program. Government of India also supports large number of farmers across the country by implementing the national level schemes, and also many provinces or states across the country. There are schemes are available for the, including international organization and also state governments. There are many schemes and other things. Always there is demand for the better monitoring evaluation. Everybody look for the evidence. These type of studies also, it is very less. It was last few years, lot of importance given for youth in agriculture, because country like India, there is farmers are aging always, and youth are leaving the villages and going to other jobs. And now a lot of emphasis on agripreneurship or agri-business, whether we can make some youth as youth in agriculture as agri-entrepreneurs, and how we can make like that. We need to have a lot of research. Similarly, this whole innovation, it is not only from research, farmers innovation, other wherever local organization, other institutions or NGOs, there are a lot of innovations happens, including social innovations or technological innovations. How we can facilitate, how we can integrate with the larger system, how we can, if needed, how we can validate, how we can scale up. Those things are, because many places these innovations are in whether natural farming or it is in the remote areas. A lot of innovation happens, but it is very context specific, very location specific. Whether these things validated, other we can take it up larger area. Those type of things needs a lot of studies, and those type of studies there is always scope available. Similarly, there is probably globally we are having one of the biggest national network of agriculture extension system, including Krishi Farm Science Centers, Krishi Vigyan Kendras, and also developmental departments like Department of Agriculture, Horticulture, like that. There are large number of developmental department. Everybody, they will play in the different role. And instead of individually putting how particular district, whether all the developmental player in agriculture, whether KVK or developmental departments or institutions, colleges, what type of role they are playing for agriculture development, and how they can each other work. There is a long pending demand for the convergence of efforts, because if you see in the India, many of the efforts are duplicated, and many times there is some of them, there are subsidies are available different, or promotional schemes, or many things. No, it is somewhere, no, few players might be, few clients might be getting, and many of the roles are similar and efforts are duplicated. How we can minimize it, how we can make convergence among the different departments, any possibilities there, those type of studies are much more useful. And apart from that, today in we may be the one of the globally third vibrant agri startup ecosystem we are hosting globally, and there are more than 6,000 startups are registered in the Government of India's portal, and at least 3,000 agri startups are working with the farmers. Some of the startups are working with nearly some million to few thousand farmers. It ranges from few hundred farmers to and few it is nearing almost million farmers. Like, no, there are large number of startups are working in across the country. When startups or agribusiness companies coming for the providing different type of services and other support, including innovative technologies, they are coming. Many of the agri-tech startups comes with a lot of innovation and new technologies. When it is coming, how we can already traditionally existing technological institutions or research organizations, how we can complement each other, how we can support each other, so that the services will reach many, and it will be agri startups or agripreneurs or agri-tech, those who are doing innovations can be supported across the country, instead of individually isolation doing. How integration happens, what type of areas, where it is really doing agriculture extension, they are doing what type of services, those type of studies are much more needed. That's why, and again, some country in India, if you see states like Maharashtra and many more states, but Maharashtra may be the one of the leading example. Large number of farmers, they will go for the agro-tourism along with agriculture, and the small portion of land they are putting agro-tourism, and they are creating a lot of awareness, and also it is giving additional income to the farmers and employment to the many more people. And there is a state level policies, there is agro-tourism policies, and these type of things are emerging. Whether we have concrete studies on that, so that it will give some national policy or state level policies better input for, so that we can develop the agriculture, like studies on agro-tourism, so that to create the evidence how it is. And it may be states like somewhere Maharashtra will do, it may be useful for other states. Many of the states very keen on coming out with the agro-tourism policies, like Maharashtra, like Karnataka and Kerala, and many states are very much keen on these type of agro-tourism policies. How we can supplement as the extension studies, how we can supplement or complement, that may be the another important area we can do that. Apart from that, large number of organizations, including public, private sector organizations, there is a concern for organizational performance. For example, recently, Telangana government, everywhere they recruit large number of extension professionals, and how to incentivize those who are working well and how to assess the performance in agricultural extension systems. That is, still it is many people are looking for to assess the performance of extension professionals and how they are contributing, whether like many of the places, clients or customers are evaluating, giving feedback. Similarly, extension system, whether we have robust some feedback system or not only simple feedback, but it should have the something complete evaluation of performance of entire extension systems and their staff, those who are working particular organization. It is possible like that there is a lot of concern across the country. And because we host one of the biggest agricultural extension public sector extension system in the country, still there is no much performance related studies, and it is we are not having those type of concern. Also, many of the governments want to take it up. These areas are it is last few years we feel it is more important, and the governments also again they look for the evidence of central sector schemes. That's why monitor evaluation of studies of the central sector schemes implemented by the government of India and also many state government coming schemes. There is no comprehensive evaluation studies are available across the country. Those type of studies always has a lot of importance, and like we can go a little more detail about different areas. For example, agriculture extension. When you talk about agricultural extension, it may be studies you can do related to 5 major areas. It may be governance or advisory methods and capacity and the management related, like youth, ICTs, or like climate change, all cross-cutting themes also you can do. And also another areas, policy, how what type of policy environment, what type of policy needed, and policy review, agriculture itself, agriculture extension policy review we can do. Overall policy environment, how it is there, how it is supporting agriculture or hindering like that. These major areas, there are a lot of possibility to research. And moving forward, it is, for example, somebody talk about digital innovation. Some of the studies I was looking, for example, even digital agriculture, when you talk, even you need to set the priority for what type of research questions you need to ask. I was talking about major areas. When you go by area wise, also small area, you need to break into very specific to the what you are supposed to do. And a lot of interesting studies are available in some of the areas. For example, when you talk about digital agriculture, maybe data governance or data management, enabling use of data and technologies, how ICTs are supporting, or understanding the benefits of this digital innovation, how uptake of technology or data, how it is happening, how optimization of data and technology performance is happening when you are working with the digital environment, and what are the impact of whole digital ecosystem or agriculture, what type of new collaborative arrangements are happening because of ICTs, because ICT one of the best network enabler, it can have the better collaboration arrangements it can create, innovation platforms it can create. Then you need to have the priority different areas. For example, when you are doing this particular area also, again you need to set a priority, particular province or particular national level context, which all things are more important. For example, India always we feel data management is more important. Whenever we don't have the quality data and it's data not integrated, and because across the country different formats, and whether the quality data we are having and those data in online easily accessible to the developmental practitioners or researcher, that is always questionable. That's why even data management always has a lot of focus or priority for country like India. These type of things we can do some research, and we can help in particular province or district or national level data management in agriculture, any area that has a lot of priority. Like we can go on theme based and lot of things we can do, and also already research is available. Only thing we need to do, like governance means, I will stop here, but I will say like governance means, again there are list of areas we can work. Similarly, advisory method, there are large number of methodologies we can work. Simply I given the list of areas when advisory methods we are calling, where we can work like that. Similarly, all the areas, capacity and management, what are things we can work like that. cross-cutting themes, youth or gender or value chain or climate smart, addressing the nutrition through extension method and plus plant health management like that. And also some of the policy research or policy review advocacy methods, which is working, not working, whether it is there or where it is not there like that also. And also I given some of the research areas, different areas we given, and this straight away we can think, and I will share this one. I don't want to go with the list, different type of list. I don't want to go. I will share, and also Government of India itself, more than 30 national level schemes, Government of India, Ministry of Agriculture implementing. There also we need a lot of evaluation studies. Those lists also I will share all the participants, and I will stop here. And any question means I will take it up. Otherwise, I will be available even after Professor Vikram's session also. I will stop here. Any quick question means I will take it up. Otherwise, I will wait for after completion of the Professor Vikram's. Anupam, you will take it up. Any question means I will happy to answer. Otherwise, Professor,
so
we can take.
better we'll do
morning,
is,
better to take Professor.
better in the end of the session, we can take questions from both of you, sir. So thank you, sir, for an exhaustive and setting the stage for a 3-day program where you have said what priorities need to be done. And taking away like the most important thing, what you said is do not conduct research solely to meet the criteria for a master's or PhD degree. Instead, ensure that it contributes to policy making and advances new knowledge in the field of agriculture extension. With this, sir, I'd like to thank you for your session. I will ask you to kindly be with us so that we can take the question answer at the end of the session. So for our second half of the program, I'd like to introduce our second speaker for today is Dr. Vikram Kondenia. It's my honor and privilege to introduce Sir, who is an esteemed evaluation specialist and associate professor of extension at the University of California, Davis. His extensive expertise and dedication to planning and designing program and policy evaluations in a wide array of fields make him a notable figure in the world of academia and research. Dr. Kondenia has completed his Doctor of Philosophy in Agriculture and Extension Education from Iowa State University, while he has done his bachelor's from Acharya N.G. Ranga Agriculture University, which is currently now in Andhra Pradesh, India. Dr. Kondenia's passion for research and evaluation extends across a diverse range of areas, including agriculture, natural resource, environmental studies, community development, youth empowerment, economic development, and environmental justice. As an associate professor of extension at the University of California, Davis, Dr. Vikram Kondenia continues to inspire students, researchers, and practitioners with his knowledge and dedication. His contributions to academia and his commitment to improving the world through evidence-based evaluation are truly commendable. Today, we will be hosting him as one of the speakers with the title Role of Evaluation Specialist in the United States Extension System. With this brief introduction, I'd like to hand over the stage to Sir. Over to you, sir.
Are you all able to see a PowerPoint?
Yes, sir. It is visible, sir.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Sharan and Dr. Anupam, for the invitation to talk about my work and research with all of you today. So, Dr. Anupam, this is one of the best introductions I got so far about me. So, you have covered everything that I wanted to talk, but still I'll give a little bit of introduction about me. Before getting into that, it's so nice to see so many people in attendance. I hope you find some value in what I'll share over the next 35, 40 minutes. I want to leave more time for discussion after I present. And also any other comments you may have about my research or any areas for improvement, anything else that you want to share. And as Dr. Anupam just shared, the title of my talk today is the role of evaluation specialists in the United States Extension System. I believe evaluation specialists such as me are uniquely positioned, unlike any other extension system in the world that I understand, or as I understand. Again, like I am Vikram Kondenia, an associate professor at University of California, Davis. I'm in the Community and Regional Development Program in the Department of Human Ecology, which is in the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. And I'm also the state level extension evaluation specialist for the University of California Extension System that spans beyond the Davis campus and covers a majority of the 11 University of California campuses we have in the state. My primary responsibility in this role is to build the evaluation capacity of University of California Extension advisors, like who are in each county, extending the research and knowledge that is generated on campus here. And I conduct applied research that's more practical for our extension agents, educators to use to improve their practice. And also the other half is like to contribute to the academic knowledge base. I have an appointment that is split as 40% teaching, primarily offering statewide evaluation trainings to county extension educators, specialists, and graduate students like master's, PhD students. And then 40% research and 20% is professional, university, and public service. I'll share more about my teaching and research in the coming slides. I've been asked to focus more on my research work. The way I was planning to do this is I'll share the research areas that are happening within the program development and evaluation realm of the extension, like Dr. Saranan shared a lot of priority areas, some of which resonate with what we have here in the United States. But I will focus more within my expertise area because I really don't know much about the other areas that are within extension that are like where research is happening. And then I'm going to present my own focus areas and give some examples of published research, like the type of research we conducted, why we conducted that research, and how that is informing the practice. So that loop where I conduct research to inform my teaching and whatever I learn through my teaching sometimes gets into my research. Okay, so this is the outline I have for my talk today. I'll present very briefly about the extension system in the United States for some of us who may not know that well about the land-grant university system and the extension system here. And then I'll talk about the role of evaluation specialists, what roles they serve within the extension system. And I'll briefly mention about my teaching. And as I said, I'll spend most of the time on program evaluation research. So the land-grant colleges, right? It's a similar model that we have in India. There was created by Morrill Act of 1862. The main reason why this land-grant concept was created was prior to that, most of the education was kind of esoteric and was focusing on classic studies and liberal studies kind of subject kind of studies that had not that much of practical relevance. To shift the focus from that to mechanical kind of subjects and agriculture that were more practical and more useful for the workforce in the country at that time. Each state was given 30,000 acres of land to each of the senators in the states, and they could use that land through sales to create a land-grant university, and that's when the colleges of agriculture came into the picture. And now every state has at least one land-grant university, and there are about more than 100 land-grant colleges right now. And the mission of these land-grant institutions, like similar to India, like we have teaching, we have research, and uniquely we have the extension part. So the main difference in a nutshell between Indian extension system and the US extension is that we have our extension within the agriculture universities here, whereas the extension major responsibility is under the Ministry of Agriculture in India. And once the colleges were started, there was a need that was felt that we should extend the information and educate people. So the cooperative extension system, which is the United States extension system, was created in 1914 through Smith-Lever Act. We have all studied this in our undergraduate program in India and also master's program. And at that time, rural Americans and farmers needed education for improving their agricultural practices. And Simon Knapp, who is like considered father of extension, was hired by the central government, the federal government, to teach good agricultural practices. And he held a lot of on-farm demonstrations, which kind of revolutionized farming throughout the country. So I don't want to take a lot of time, but just a little bit of the structure. So it is called a cooperative model because 3 players are involved. The central government, as we call in India, the federal government here, the United States Department of Agriculture, which funds most of the, like all of the extension system here. And it has a wing called National Institute of Food and Agriculture, which is the extension wing. So the next level is the state, where there are land grant universities like academic departments such as mine, and then there are experiment stations that were created from the funds they got from hatch money, and then cooperative extension system that extends all the information into the communities. And then there is the county government, the local government, which is an equally powerful player. There are county extension educators, we call them advisors in California. They're called by different names as extension agents, extension educators in other states. They offer the education programs to the clientele. And we rely a lot on volunteers. 4-H, like I'll get a little bit into that, is mainly through volunteers. And there are state level extension specialists who support the work of the county extension educators. And evaluation specialists happen to be one of the extension specialists whose program like expertise area is evaluation. So they all contribute funds. The people working in counties, the county extension educators get funding from the county government also. So we have 3 distinct entities who are working in a cooperative model in the extension system here. So in 1914, when the cooperative extension system was created, a majority of the US people lived in rural areas, and 30% of the workforce was engaged in farming. And at that time, extension's engagement with rural America helped the great American agricultural revolution. And then the major program area was agriculture and natural resources, but the things have changed now. Today, extension has adapted to the changing times. The situation now is less than 2% of the population farm for a living. So less than 2% of the people are engaged in farming to make money, like the primary source of money is farming. And only 17% of the people live in rural areas. But still, extension has kept pace with all these changes and still plays a significant role. And it serves like urban areas, it serves suburban areas right now. And that's when it slowly started, like 4-H and agriculture are the main things initially, but after that it transitioned into these areas also. And now coming to evaluation specialists in the cooperative extension system, all these program areas, right, like ag and natural resources, 4-H, community development, family science, consumer science, all these programs have to report their outcomes and impact at the end of the year, because for one of the reasons is to show accountability to the funds we are receiving from the United States Department of Agriculture. And our county extension educators, most of them are not trained in evaluation, how to capture impact, how to measure outcomes. So that's where the evaluation specialists come into the picture, like evaluation specialists like me. We work with our county extension educators and try to build their capacity. So state level extension specialist, an evaluation specialist is a state level extension specialist whose expertise area is program development and evaluation. So they can be faculty in academic departments like me, or academic staff in extension departments, like my previous position at University of Wisconsin, Madison Extension. I was an academic staff there, conducting evaluations mainly for grants, and also doing some teaching. And they can be stationed in research units, central governance units, so they play different roles. And most of these people, they work with county extension to provide the required evaluation research base to improve their programming. So I get a lot of questions from many students that reach out to me, like from India and also within this country, like what competencies are needed for evaluation specialists, and what exactly does evaluation include. So I just wanted to present one slide. showing what is needed. So we need, like we study this within extension education, master's degree in India. That's where I did my master's and I came here for a PhD. So we do take courses related to program planning, program theory, program development, and also different evaluation frameworks. So those are all competencies that are needed. And then there are evaluators from like other backgrounds, but a social science background, like extension education or sociology or economics is mostly the one the evaluators have. And within that, like research and evaluation methods, survey development, data analysis and interpretation, and intermediate level statistics is needed. There are some evaluators who are predominantly qualitative, but in my experience, I think if we have at least intermediate level statistics knowledge or competency, that will serve us better. And the next four are some things that are good to have, that are not absolutely needed, but good to have, like if you are aspiring for a career in program evaluation, advanced level statistics and higher level qualitative research methods, project management, data visualization, and communication skills is important for every field, but more so for a program evaluator. So coming to the roles of evaluation specialists within extension, like classroom teaching, like to students, evaluation capacity building trainings to county extension educators. Then they help with annual reporting to United States Department of Agriculture. They help with impact statement writing and also conducting evaluation practice and conducting research, which will be the focus of the rest of my talk. So just briefly, these are the topics that I cover in my statewide evaluation trainings and also my expertise areas within evaluation that I offer to classroom, like teaching students here and also our county extension educators. So planning and designing evaluations and conducting needs assessments happen to be the most commonly taught subjects. And the rest of the things like methods also, methods for measuring outcomes, ripple effects mapping, survey design and development. So my main teaching is designing evaluations, needs assessments, survey design, and survey sampling methods, and a little bit of quantitative data analysis. I've been trained in quantitative, but I can do a little bit of qualitative also, like at least to an intermediate level. Okay, so coming to the research, the extension program evaluation research areas in this country, as I have experienced over the last like about 10 years since I graduated from my PhD. So there is research happening about identifying the evaluation competencies of county extension educators and building models around that. And what it's helping with is the use of that research is it helps the policymakers to design professional development programs. And then a lot of research is happening around needs assessment processes and methods. I'll present some examples because that happens to be one of my focus areas. And evaluation methods, like any innovative methods that you can think of, because surveys are getting a very low response rate these days, and there's been like online surveys, there's been like severe bot attack, like AI-powered bots, and also fraudulent human responses. And then survey design and development, how to improve response rates or how to write good survey questions so that you get valid data which can be usable. And then outcomes measurement and impact assessment. These are individual studies where the evaluator helps with different components of the paper that's being written, and then it is enhanced, the results are enhanced, and then any tools, methods, papers, templates that can help. I'll share an example where we came up with, like I came up with an idea that can help with presenting data from pre and post tests compared to like reporting a t-test score. I think a little bit of in-depth analysis higher than that, but it's still frequency distributions can be more helpful. And then the other areas after that, the four are more esoteric. They are geared to more towards academics, like professors in evaluation or evaluation specialists, not that much directly applicable to county extension practice. So there is research happening about how to inculcate evaluative thinking, critical thinking, right from the program development phase itself. So, and how that is linked with impact reporting, impact assessment, or for long-running programs, impact measurement. And then empowerment evaluation frameworks are being researched, how they can be applied and how they should be applied in developmental work. And then within extension, I also kind of try to use this participatory and culturally responsive evaluation in almost all the evaluations that I design. And off late, not off late, but I have been focusing more like on indigenous evaluations with people, working with people who have less power, and how to kind of make evaluation more approachable, and how to consider the people with whom we work with as like co-creators of knowledge, not like evaluation recipients. So these are the research priority, like research areas within extension evaluation at the national level. And my research focus and examples that I'll present over the next 5-6 slides are one of the focus areas for me is evaluation methods and tools. I'll present some examples, then I think it will become somewhat clear for you what I mean by methods and tools. And then a lot of needs assessment processes and methods studies. And then individual evaluation studies, like I'm written in as a co-PI or a PI on some grants, and we carry out the evaluation for the project, like outcomes measurement, and then we publish the results of evaluation. And that's what I'm calling as evaluation studies. So these are some of the examples of evaluation methods and tools. And like most of my research, like at least 80% of the research should be like as required by my position description, should be practically and easily useful or applicable to county extension agents or educators. So right now we have a paper that's been accepted and is in press, like tools for capturing outcomes in virtual education programs. So the need for this research arose out of the pandemic lockdown, right? So during the COVID-19 pandemic, like our institute, like any other institute, most of the other institutes, increased virtual programming and had to adopt to online technologies. And many of us were not that well equipped or trained to kind of transition to online teaching at that time. So all our statewide trainings, we usually offer it like 1-day trainings, starts at 9, ends at 3 with a lunch break. So we had to transition to like a 2-hour live, like Zoom meetings, right? Zoom trainings. So that's when we started exploring different tools. We still had to collect some evaluation data from our own trainings need to be evaluated, and we have to submit at the end of the year, like how impactful or how useful our trainings are. So what we did was during that time, we explored different assessment tools for gathering data live during the programs when they were offered, so that we could capture the learning outcomes. So we created basically a repository, central repository of all the tools, their features, how they could be used to capture outcomes during the online trainings. So this will come out shortly, and anyone can, like Journal of Extension is a free journal that you can all access if you're interested in. So that's one example of a methods paper. And then the other one that's really a cool thing that we were able to try because we had funding to try mixed methods research. So the title is Group Mapping in a 4-H Camp, Mixed Methods Evaluation. It was published in Journal of Youth Development. So this was coming from a project that was developed for 12-year-old children. And it was a week-long residential 4-H camp. And the goal of this the program was to promote systems understanding, like how the different components on a farm, like plants, animals, technology, soils, everything work together as a system. And we wanted to promote that systems understanding. And because the goal was kind of a qualitative kind of a goal, so we went for mixed methods approach. We divided the students into 5 learning groups, and we had them draw like what their understanding was in a big chart paper. And students could keep improving their maps as they learned subject content during the camp. And we were able to qualitatively see the difference. The first day, the maps were not showing much systems linkages. At the end of the camp, there was a clear visual improvement, but yet to get like a quantitative triangulation also, we developed a rubrics, and myself and the PI, the principal investigator, we ranked rated those maps. We checked our interpreter reliability. First day it was terrible, like she was scoring, like giving some completely different rating for me, and then we sat together and our reliability improved. And the mean score comparisons, the ANOVA that was carried out for the 5 groups also indicated a significant improvement on all the metrics. So we were able to see the group mapping and also the surveys, the retrospective post and pre. So we used multiple methods, and we could get at a point that we were confident to say that, okay, this camp has resulted in a systems understanding in the kids. Then the other tool paper, like right now, there are a lot of decision support tools or other online resources that are being developed, and doing a usability testing of the beta version is really important. So we used the services of a company, usertesting.com, and we felt that it was really helpful to improve the usability of our tools, the climate change, like the climate decision support tools. So we wrote it up as a Journal of Extension publication. So it's a brief methods paper. What's the use of that paper? Like, people can directly use it in their work. And then the other one, how to compute and present individual change with before and after survey data. This is not a peer-reviewed publication. This is an extension publication. It is peer-reviewed within the institution, but not like a journal publication. It's an extension publication. You can access it online. And as I was saying, the main intention for this paper was to see, like, usually, like when we do a pre and post, most of our educators or even academics, like the professors, they report a t-test, like an independent sample, like a dependent samples t-test. Or if the sample size is small, like less than 30, like 15, 20, they go with some kind of a non-parametric test, like Wilcoxon or like a Mann-Whitney, whatever is appropriate. But I was thinking that, okay, it's giving us some kind of an impact indicator. Has the program made a change or not? Like, is there a statistically significant difference? But for formative evaluation purposes to like inform program improvement, it was not giving sufficient data, right? So one of the data sets that I examined, of the 30 people, 15 people or something like that, or maybe 10, 15, something like that, they didn't show any change from pre to post, but still the t-test was showing that the group made a significant change. So then I thought that, okay, a little more in-depth analysis is needed. And then I came up with an Excel template where you can see individual change, right? It's still reporting frequency distributions, but the frequency distribution is how much change a person has made, like how many people have changed by 1 point, how many people have changed by 2 points or 3 points on a Likert type scale of 5, for example. And is there any negative change, which usually doesn't happen. But the self-reported knowledge usually doesn't go down. But we don't know, like that. I think was giving a rich data for program improvement purposes, not like the impact purpose. And after having shared this extension publication with county extension educators and advisors all over the country, and within my training programs, right now I'm convinced that people are finding more value with this, instead of like maybe in addition to reporting a t-test. So that's why I'm going to submit this as an ideas at work paper for Journal of Extension, which is the premier journal for our county extension educators. So I've tried this method and I felt that it is useful, and that's why I think that it should get into a higher knowledge-based contribution. And then the other example for a methods paper is how to modern the timing of follow-up surveys affect evaluation success. So we basically took survey data from a Manure Expo that was conducted at a national level. There were a few international participants. We tried to, like, we kind of examined like a paper format versus an online survey and the timing of the follow-up survey a 2-month and 10-month, which one yielded more response rate and captured which type of outcomes. So this is also directly applicable for our extension educators who are trying to decide which mode to apply. So these are some of the examples of methods papers. And then, as I said, like a significant chunk of my teaching and research happens around needs assessment processes and methods. My PhD student and I have developed an annotated bibliography also around this. It's again peer-reviewed within public, like within extension, not like for a journal. That is not in this list, but that is one of the products, research products that has come out. So one example, designing food safety training programs for refugee farmers based on needs assessment data. This is under review with Journal of International Agricultural and Extension Education. So we have a lot of refugee farmers here in California, in the Sacramento area, and I have been asked to design, like evaluate their food safety training programs. And like my master's student, he led a needs assessment, and we thought that we should publish this so that other areas where there are refugee farmers, the results are not generalizable as such, but the methods or the practices we try to make it more culturally relevant. I think that has some generalizability. And then building resilience to public safety power shutoffs through public education. It has been accepted by Journal of Extension, its interest now. So California has a huge issue with wildfires, and public safety power shutoff, like preemptively shutting off power, is one of the strategies that the state follows. And it has, whatever positive intentions they have, it has some negative effects, like there is food wastage without power, and then many people use medical devices and they run out of power. It's affecting their health. So we conducted a needs assessment of all the residents of California. For this, I collaborated with our county extension disaster management experts, educators. So most of these papers I have co-authors, or the lead author sometimes is the county extension educator. So everything is a collaborative applied research, and I use my research examples in my teaching, right? And we have come up with the needs, and we identified that a cooperative extension system should play a significant role in disaster management, which it doesn't do to that extent right now. And then the other example is collecting needs assessment data using participatory and culturally responsive strategies for a climate smart agriculture project. So here it's more than the results. Our focus is the strategies that we followed to make it participatory and culturally responsive, right? And then I collaborated with our agronomy farm advisors and conducted a big needs assessment in the state to identify the top management challenges and concerns for crop production in the state. California is uniquely stationed, like we have a lot of regulations, the funding has been going down. So we thought that we had to identify needs and prioritize that. And I worked with the team throughout the process, like writing survey questions, everything that I teach, I follow that in my research projects. And again, another project with the disaster management county extension experts, identifying the needs and the role extension should play in disaster management. Right now, it's not that clear that disaster management is one of our focus areas. So we recommend that extension system should play an active role in disaster management. How am I doing with time? Okay. So my last slide, evaluation studies. This is where I collaborate with people. These are more high impact factor journals. The others that I just presented are also like good impact factors, but when I collaborate with colleagues on evaluation studies, basically the other professors in other universities like Florida or Pennsylvania or Idaho, we are able to, it's more geared towards academics and also has extension practitioner applicability. So we published recently this year in Ag and Human Values, we conducted a preliminary assessment of food safety obstacles in California's produce recovery networks. So we have a unique situation here. The intersectionality between food safety, food security, and food waste is always a complex phenomenon. Like the policies that are geared towards ensuring food safety have some unintended, I believe, unintended negative consequences on small businesses as it comes to food security, food waste. So we are trying to explain, we conducted a set of 7 focus groups in the state, and we are trying to come up with policy recommendations. And then the other paper that was, we were fortunate to get it into Nature, one of the Nature journals, is scaling up co-produced climate-driven decision support tools for agriculture. So as you see, like all the examples that I've been sharing align somewhat with the national research priorities Dr. Saranan Raj was sharing during his talk. So the main thing that we found in this paper that was published in Nature was like beyond the co-creation and considering people as like co-creators of knowledge, there has to be sustained effort after the project. In our project, a big climate change project that happened in the 12 states in the Midwestern US, the inputs were taken, but the farmers and advisors were not that much involved in creating the decision support tools. But yet we had buy-in and people were willing to use. But we recommended that for a co-creation framework to sustain and also the products to be adopted, we did a concerted extension effort even after the project ends. And then from the same project, we had explaining the use of online agricultural decision support tools with weather and climate information in the Midwestern United States. So we explored what factors are affecting the online use. Even after we are creating all these decision support tools, I think the situation is similar in India also. The adoption is not to that extent. So we surveyed like 6,000 people, I think 5,300 something responded, both farmers and agricultural advisors. So agricultural advisors, like extension educators, our agriculture officers may be comparable to agricultural officers in India. They are more willing to adopt agricultural decision support tools compared to our farmers, but because they work with farmers, we are recommending that they leverage their social networks. And also we identified some of the other factors through some advanced stats analysis, like which one can influence the adoption, how much variance you can explain in the dependent variables. So that is one example. This is useful for county extension educators, but mostly geared towards academics, right? We have to kind of, whenever such kind of publications happen, we write up like a paragraph, an elevator pitch without any jargon. And that's what we share with our extension educators. They're all trained, they're all production agriculture experts, but what to take to the farmers and talk, right? If you talk about regressions and correlations, they'll be shut off, right? So no statistics, no jargon, right, in the things that we share with our clientele in the state. And then this is one of the papers that I am most proud about. That also came from the same climate change project that was led by Purdue University. And this happened when I was in Wisconsin, enhancing interdisciplinary climate change work through a comprehensive evaluation. So we had a lot of funding from this one, mainly because I think the PI was a social science professor at Purdue. So she gave us a lot of money to conduct, to kind of come up with the best design for evaluation that could capture the impacts of this program. So we tried many methods, like we had team interviews because it was a huge project with so many PIs, co-PIs. And we did usability testing of all our beta versions of the decision support tools. And we monitored Google Analytics. We did a marketing campaign. We evaluated that campaign. And then we sent out surveys to all the other stakeholders, like farmers, agricultural advisors in the states. And then we also, towards the end of the project, in addition to the summative evaluation through a survey, we were also able to talk to some farmers. It was a huge project, and we had a team of 4 or 5 actively involved evaluators. I had my students, we had our students helping with it. We had colleagues, so it was a big paper. If you're all interested in evaluation of all the papers, I would recommend please read this one first. And if you're interested in anything else, you can read after that. So as you can see, the point I was trying to make was that all my research is usually, most of it at least, is geared towards improving the evaluation practice of our extension educators at counties. And some of it is like maybe like 25-30% is geared towards academics, which has practical use, direct use for students and all the research methods that go into it. But there also, like after that happens, we kind of change it, like without any regressions, without advanced stats, we kind of write up an elevator pitch, a brief paragraph, and then share it back with our extension educators. So this is what I wanted to share for 40 minutes or so. I've been asked to talk about. So this is my email address. That's a WhatsApp. I can be reached through WhatsApp, and then that's my webpage. I'll share my PowerPoint with Dr. Anupam. And you can reach out to me with any questions about my evaluation work. And I'm now open to, if you all have any questions, I can take any questions, or if you have any comments, you can share that on any areas of improvement that you want to suggest.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for covering the basics of the evaluation and needs assessment that we are usually seeing you deal with. So sir, there is a question in the chat box. I think it will be more directed towards you. That in India, majority of the farmers are small and marginal, whereas in the US, most farmers are big farmers. Does it make any difference for agri extension services?
Yeah, that's a good question. We have some small farmers here also, but especially in California, it's mostly big farmers. But even the classification is different. So we have people with thousands of acres. I don't think it makes that much of a difference, because the main selling point for extension is that it's an unbiased source of information, right? So we don't have any vested interest to promote anything. We are just taking facts-based, science-based information for their benefit. But people, especially after the use of all this internet and the other kind of online resources, so they look up for information there, sometimes without reaching to the extension educator in the county. But still, we direct them towards university websites, not like private companies. So it's not that private companies don't do a good job, but because we are in the land-grant university system, at least that it's my belief that our information should be considered first.
Yes, sir.
Does
Dr.
that
Shweta
answer
has
your
raised
question?
hand. Dr. Shweta, do you have a question?
Yes, sir. So,
Please go ahead.
Dr. Countinia, sir, I was waiting for you to discuss on how to increase the response rate, as you mentioned earlier.
Okay. So that's a very good question, and there's no easy answer for that. There is survey fatigue, right? So people are getting so many surveys. I don't know how it's happening in India. So it is, especially for the last 3 years, it has been awfully low for some of my surveys. The sample size may still look good, 500, 600, but the response rate is less than 10%, because it went out to like thousands of people. The sample size may still look good. So some of the things that can be done to improve response rate is all the best practices of survey design, right? Like keep the questionnaire very short, up to the point, no confusions, write the questions very nicely, and then if possible, have some incentives for participation. But if you have incentives, and if it is an online survey, there's been like severe bot attack, like artificial intelligence powered bots, and also because there is like a set of folks now, we are calling them the survey farms. Taking fake surveys is a full-time job for people, even though I don't know what you have at Manage, but we have Qualtrics through University of California. It has features to prevent bot attack, but we have been observing that it is circumventing all the privacy. AI learns very quickly. So with all the advantages it has significant disadvantages. And if you keep the survey open after the first bot attack happens, the remaining responses they learn, and it's very, very difficult to clean the data once the bot attack is there. Right now, my student and I are developing a paper. She has come up with some cool machine learning algorithms and to kind of detect bots, or at least mitigate bot attack if we can't prevent them. So I can share that if at all it gets accepted, then I can share that, and I also have a paper. So as I said, like there's no one golden rule. You have to follow most of the best practices.
Sir, I will ask a follow-up question to this previous one also. In the research that you told that you sent out almost 6,000 surveys and you got a response rate of 5,300, which was almost nearly to 90%. What was different in that one? And you said that recently the response rate has gone down without 10%. So 90 to 10, what was the difference in that particular research?
Yeah, so sorry, I think I kind of confused you. It was sent to a lot of people. We got like 6,000, 5,300 responses, but still, I think the response rate was close to 30% there.
Okay.
So some of the best practices was we didn't have this much of a bot attack. Then other thing that helped with that is if you make the survey public, you share it in social media, or you share it at your public meetings through give a QR code, there is more fraud. But if you send it to a mailing list where all the email IDs are valid, genuine, and they are all your sampling units, right? Then the response rate is higher, bot attack is less. But then the response rate was higher because we had incentives. And also that was done in 2016, 17. For some reason, like we are still exploring, the response rate has been low, very low for the last 2-3 years. Before that, it was still okay. We were getting 20-25%. But right now, in one of the climate smart ag statewide survey, it's around 6%, and we are now kind of doing multiple methods. We are doing interviews, we are doing focus groups, because we really are not able to get people to participate. And one of the things I think is a long survey. Shorter surveys get more response. Our needs assessment climate smart ag project is a long survey. We had to have all those questions in there. We could not take out any questions, and I think that is one of the things. Keep the survey short. Maybe you will have better luck.
Okay. There's a question. I think it will be directed towards Sarvan sir. In India, I understand that agriculture extension is being carried out by private sector in addition to state agri department. How this private sector agri extension services are good as compared to state agriculture extension services? So over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Anupam, and also thank you, Prabhakara, for asking this question. As you know, this agri clinics, across the country, agriculture graduates will be trained and manage implementing the agri clinics, agri business centers. There are many, they will take it up. It's an agri consultancy as a service. It's a paid service actually. And wherever there is opportunities, wherever they can create the value, they are charging for it. Sometimes they will give consultancy free of cost, but they will realize that whatever they are investing their time through selling the inputs or some other things. Like many of the people having agri clinics and agri business centers, many people, they come out with the products or some inputs for the farmers, whether seed or fertilizer or whatever it may be. Along with that, they also provide the services, and many of the cases service may be free, but whatever service they are offering, whatever time they are spending, they may spending on that particular time, they will realize through selling the inputs or model business units, they will showcase to the farmers like that. No, but public extension system totally is a free of cost. It's entirely different. But wherever there is a potential available, there agriculture consultancy coming. Like states like Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka, there are a large number of consultants or agri studied students are there. They are taking up the consultancies. And mostly, normally they're little more better well-off farmers, and those can pay, those who can afford, those who are medium to large scale farmers, they are paying, they are doing it. It is happening actually. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. There's a question from Amri Singh. Use of social media in agri extension is increasing day by day. Kindly suggest how to make social media more effectively in extension. I'd like both the speakers to have their comment on this. Vikram, sir, you can go first.
Sorry, I got a little bit distracted by the chat. So the question is how to use social media in extension?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so it's become like almost a requirement now. Most of our county extension advisors have handles like X, right? It's called X now, or Instagram, and 4-H educators, like they do a lot of TikTok. People's attention spans have gone down. YouTube videos also, like if it's more than 6-7 minutes, they don't draw any views. So it's become a part of extending knowledge and also attracting people to extension. I use a lot of, I do promote my work through social media a lot, and it's not directly relevant to this, but I have been getting some more collaborative opportunities through social media. So it is impactful, especially if you can use it in a strategic way. We have a social media advisors in the college, so I get advice from her on how to what frequency, right? Don't bore people with too many posts, those kind of things. So we have an expert here. Like I get her advice on when to post, how much to post, right? All that, like don't post too much. People don't read that much, so that kind of an advice. If someone is experienced in social media posts, maybe they can offer a training, how to compose messages, how to attract, what words to use. Yeah.
Okay. Savan sir, over to you. The same question.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Professor Vikram, for most of things covered. But the question asked by Mr. Amrik Singh, he himself is an extension professional from Punjab, and also he is well known, one of the early extension officer, started WhatsApp group, other things. Mr. Amrik Singh, known for his efforts in social media. Anyway, he asked his own question. He can also, sir, Namaskar, you can also tell about your own experience, that we'll be happy to listen. But still, as Professor Vikram was talking, we need to have the more social media skills we need to impart, because all the tools may not be useful for some every message. Now, what we do, many of them, invariably they will put messages in all the social media, whichever one, for example, Facebook or WhatsApp or YouTube or Insta or LinkedIn. Each one has a different purpose and different type of audiences. Then we need to understand which audience we are trying, what type of message we are putting, whether we are following some good practices. Like, for example, many institutions, even extensive developmental organizations, always putting our own information, like institutions or KVKs, development departments. Even social media good practice says that we need to use 1/3 of our own, and the other 1/3 from, it need to come from curated messages, something you are curating. It is depending upon audience. You curate the message from different sources and you put it. Maybe 1/3 comes from other sources, something like that. Even user generated content. Like, no, you need to have variety, and also lot of interactive formats also you need to use, because many times monotonous. The audience engagement may be very less. Many of the social media, especially in Indian context, we will see generally they won't interact. For example, this one we are seeing more than 60 of them, they are here. But you see the only 3 or 4 people are very actively asking questions, and many of them, they won't open their own videos. No, the interaction with online platforms are much more, many are much more less, much less compared to many America or Europe. It is very less here. And because many of them are passive listeners or passive participants in all social media, that makes our job is very difficult in extension. But no, there are a lot of very active social WhatsApp groups in the villages and among extension officers, including Mr. Amrik Singh, host one of the very vibrant WhatsApp. It was long before, it may be more than, if I'm right, maybe 8-9 years he might be using. He was a role model. His name was coming in the newspapers, and like, no, we need to have the champions, those really use and really understand the stakeholders very well, and our customer, those who are part of the social media. That is more important. And also, as Professor was talking, how to make it really more attractive, because in marketing or business world, if you see digital marketing, maybe one of the important, lot of research is going on how we can reach the consumers. They are putting a lot of strategies to reach through social media. But same efforts we are not making in the agricultural extension. Maybe we are taking it very lightly. That one we need to change, because the social media very well complements, supplement our own efforts. It can reach large number of masses and we can interact. That's why we need to have much more efforts, putting the digital efforts. And I hope I may answer with Mr. Amarik Singh, and you can also talk, because you have experience.
Yes,
a few minutes you can take, you can tell your experience. Mr. Amarik Singh, something you want to talk? Professor might be
yeah.
to hear from practitioners. That will be very good. Yeah.
Good evening to all. Thanks, sir, for recording. Actually, I was using social media since from 2014. And first WhatsApp group created by me 14th August 2014. As so now I am using YouTube also. Just from March 22nd to up to this 2023. I cover I think 1,80,000 viewer on YouTube channel. Uttam Kheti Punjab. Just Uttam Kheti Punjab. And 117 WhatsApp group of farmers throughout the Punjab, Haryana, UP, as well as Himachal Pradesh, in my phones, and just I one message spread in all groups, mostly farmers, about 19,000 farmers, and that groups covered. They reach this number of farmers, 19,000, just one message in one push. So I think it is better media in extension services in the place of just awareness camps and others media that's old something. And now everything is want to convert this extension from traditional to new technology, information technology. Okay, this is more effective. I think this is more effective, particularly age group 25 to 40 year. Okay, I think in the YouTube channel, if I see the data of YouTube channel, 70% youth between 25 to 44 year age watching the YouTube channel, and the youth is the major game changer in extension services to adopt latest technology. I in the district Pathankot, we make no burning district last year. I think in 2016 there are 28 fire incident in district Pathankot. I was their chief agriculture as a chief agriculture officer. Now I am in district Gurdaspur. So in last year there is not a single burning related to paddy straw detected in district Pathankot. That is due to social media, particularly YouTube channel. In that year, we have covered almost 1,35,000 in district Pathankot. Now this I transferred from Pathankot to Gurdaspur in January. Now here we also create another YouTube channel. Now that cover 1,80,000 viewers.
Thank you, Mr. Amrik Singh, for sharing your experience. We are happy to hear 170 WhatsApp groups and large number of 1,80,000 farmers in YouTube. No, all the best for your continuing almost 1 decade. It's more than 9 years. All the best. Many of the extension personnel, they should follow you, and you may be the role model. Thank you very much. Yeah.
The house is open for discussion. If any participant wants to ask any question, please go ahead. You can unmute yourself and ask the questions to both our speakers.
Some more question also. Sonali Narali, we will take it up separately for job opportunities, because you are ABM studying. You can reach with us, Dr. Anupam. You can share our email and we can reach Sonali Narali for job opportunities in agriculture extension. And again, Mr. Prabhakara asked some of the evaluation studies on agri-clinics. Every year, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, they conduct the evaluation studies with the third party. There are studies are available. Any information needed, you can write to us. We will provide, and Manage also conducts time to time evaluation studies. Mr. Prabhakara, if anything needed, you can reach us. We will provide for the
Somebody can we get a recorded version of this
Sudesh.
WebEx meeting? Can we get a recorded version of this WebEx meeting?
Yeah, we will. We will. Yeah, definitely. We will be sending a recorded version. We will be sending you the link of the recorded version of this particular webinar. and it will be given to all the participants with the PPTs that has been shared by the both our speakers.
My question on this subject is that how can we improve the collaborative work for effective extension?
Can you come back on question once again, Mr. Sudesh?
How can we improve collaborative work to improve extension?
So collaborative work to improve extension system.
Collaborative work, I mean with academia, researchers, pharma organizations, etc.
Sir,
Yeah.
his question is how can we,
Yeah, we got the Sudesh. Ideally, it's nowadays all the farmer producer organizations, farmers collectives are coming, and especially public sector organizations need to work as a facilitator to put the network among the public and private extension organizations, like even NGOs or financial institutions like banks. That is happening wherever you see the successful FPOs you are seeing, or successful entrepreneurs you are seeing, or successful private extension providers you are seeing. Certainly, you can see a lot of partnership collaboration between the public, private, and farmers collectives like that. It is happening actually. Whenever any system need to it is successful, and we need to do better impact. Always that the collaboration partnership works. Depending upon the context and based on the individuals, maybe resources, what resources you can share, and each one what competency they are having, you need to analyze accordingly. You need to have the collaboration. Only local level collaboration you can have. There is a state level, national level collaboration also happening. You can write to us more also. Even Manage itself works with there are 200 plus organizations across the country, public private organizations like all the universities, ICR institutes, a large number of NGOs we used to work, and also agri startups. We see more than 500 agri startups. Manage itself we trained and incubated at Manage. We work with large number of entrepreneurs through agri clinics, agri business centers. We'll work with large number of input dealers. We have different large number of partners with us. Similarly, any organization, they can do their own local or their own state level or national level. It is possible. Certainly, you can, any issues are facing, how we can go, you can certainly write to us. We can get back on this also, partnership also. Thank you, Mr. Sudesh, for your question. Any other questions?
I think, sir, there are no more related questions to this particular session, sir.
Maybe some of the question very specific to Dr. Globarov. He asked how to evaluate impact analysis of training and extension. We can very specific question later on. You can direct to Professor also. Otherwise, this last question we will take it up already 8:30. Professor, one of the participant, Dr. Alok, asked how to evaluate impact analysis of training and extension activities. You want to answer, Professor? Professor Vikram?
Yeah, I can answer it really short in the interest of the time. And Dr. Alok, please feel free to reach out to me if you want more information. So basically, what we recommend, like impact versus outcome, has to be clear. Like short-term impact, like outcome, like knowledge gain, skills. That is the short-term outcome. We have to at least get at measuring behavior change. Like, are people adopting what we are teaching through our extension activities? That's a medium-term outcome, right? And if it is a long-running extension program, like if you have data from 5, 7, 8 years, we can get at impact. By impact, how we define it here is not the private value people get, but it's the public value beyond the private value derived. So for most of the extension programs, we don't have such kind of data sets. So we use the behavior change data to project an impact. Like that's why we call it impact assessment, where we are projecting an anticipated impact. For example, in a nutrition program, if we can get to the stage of measuring as a result of our program, are you eating healthy food, right? And if people are eating healthy as a result of your program, then there is sufficient science that is out there, the research, which says that if people keep eating healthy food, there are better health outcomes. What's the public value from that? There is decreased public health costs. So such kind of evaluative thinking is what we teach to our county extension educators, so they can get at impact eventually. And one way to think about like outcomes outputs, right? Like at least we want to see behavior change happening, not self-reported knowledge gain or skills gain. So that's how we have to see, and a mixed methods evaluation, not just surveys, like some qualitative data also needs to be collected to be more confident about assuming that, okay, our programs are making an impact. Yeah, I can provide more examples, some more papers if you're interested, but yeah, this is our short response.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So I think, sir, with this last question, we have come to almost the conclusion of the program for day one. And so on behalf of Manage and on behalf of Dr. Sarvanraj as the course director, I'd like to thank you, sir, for being present over here, that too very early in the morning according to the US time. Thank you so much for giving us your evaluation. Before we end, sir, I'd like ask you just one liner. How much important is to report the evaluation and impacts in the agriculture extension? Just one line concluded, sir.
Yeah, I think it's an ethical imperative, not assuming that what we are doing is making impact. I think we should all develop skills to report and measure impact. It's not just for accountability, but for our own self-learning, right? How will we improve if we don't know how we are doing? So that's my sale point.
Thank you, sir.
So it's for our own improvement.
Yeah.
For our own improvement. Yeah.
I would like to also thank Dr. Sarvanraj, sir, for being present over here, for for giving an introduction to the webinar and setting the tone for the webinar for the 3-day. Thank you very much, sir, for giving your important time over here. At the end, I'd like to thank both the speakers. Thank you for being present over here. With this brief, I'd like to ask our participants kindly join us tomorrow to deal more on the national level research extension. And then on the 3rd day, we will go into the state level research extension priorities. With this, I'd like to end the webinar for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor. It's nice to see you. Thank you for all. Good night for our Indian
Thanks for
participants.
the,
Yes, sir.
thanks
Thank you,
for the
sir.
opportunity. Bye.
Thank you, Dr. Anupam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.